hello, and welcome to You First. That's right, it is about you, and you. I am your host, Shawanna Kennedy, and you know that You First is all things self-care, mental well-being, personal development, and empowerment. Empowering you to put you back on top of the to-do list of your life because it is about you. I'm excited. And just in case, right, the title alone, right, the name of the show alone should let you know that it's all about you. It's all about self-care. I tell people oftentimes, because some of you don't know me, but now you're going to know me. I am definitely a woman of faith, and it's never above whoever you have as your creator. I must say that I have to say that out the gate so that we don't misunderstand anything that's being done on this side of the You First platform, right? Because it's about you. And oftentimes we forget that we are a gift. That's right. We forget that we're a gift. If whether you're a mom, you're a dad, you're an entrepreneur, business owner, if you're living, you're breathing, and you're watching me today. So I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm excited. And because of my own self-discovery journey, my own self-valuing, self-understanding my self-worth, this has led me to something that I've been on, the journey I've been on for years. And I'm excited. I'm hippopotamus happy to have a young lady waiting in the wings to let us hear more about her amazing story. She's going to you'll see, her personality is bigger than life itself. I've been able to witness some of her transformation over the years, and we're going to get into some of her story with family, with travel, with even just weight loss. She's also an author. So I'm excited. Because I need to get her in here. Won't you guys help me welcome CJ Johnson to the platform? Hello, CJ.
Hi, Shawanna. Hello. It's so good to see you.
I'm excited. And thank you for stopping by You First into the studio, because it is about you. I was telling them, when I think about my journey and, being here, I mean, you've seen it, right? We know what that looks like, right? When we think about, when you think about You First, most people think about weight, but it's not always even physical weight. It's talking about mental weight. It's talking about the things that we allow to weigh us down. And I know, as a part of your journey, and even what even led you to write your book, and you be even a better mother and overcoming all the things that we about to get into up in here.
Right.
Dealing with all of those weights and unveiling the true you, right? Unveiling the true you. So say hello and let people know just a little bit about you, because I'm going to talk about it, because this lady, she does all things fashion. She's an MUA, guys. We getting into all of the juiciness, but just say hello to the people. Hello.
Hello, everyone. And Shawanna, thank you for inviting me to this wonderful platform TV show, You First. I've always been a fan of it, and it has helped me along my journey. I am Carlisa Johnson, aka everybody call me CJ if you really know me. I am from Marion, Alabama, a little country town. So I am a country girl. And I moved from Alabama around 2009 after I graduated college. I graduated from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, where I received a degree in community health education. And I decided to move to Atlanta to pursue my career more, because I always wanted to work for CDC and do global health and communication.
Wait a minute, hold up though. Who go to school and say, I'm going to work for the CDC? I mean, who does
me?
it? Who does it? I mean, I don't know. Out of all the things, Mom, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be the president. I want to work for the CDC. What makes you want to even have a desire? I mean, because understanding health and disease and the things that control globally, what made you even?
Yes, because CDC is. Because when I went into public health, my thing is I want to help people when it comes to mental health issues, diseases, whatever issue might help the well-being of yourself. And that goes back into my business that I started, Know the Art of Making You, What it
Yeah.
is about you that makes up you, not the DNA or anything, but what makes up you is that purpose, that person, and that purpose that you have. And I kind of, at first I was like, I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a nurse because I don't do well with blood and all that stuff once I got into the hospital. But I wanted to get out there and educate people and communicate to people and see what are their feelings, because they're normal people just like me. And what do they need when it comes to their community, their health, and their family, things of that nature. And when I was in college, I saw how CDC, even though we CDC get a lot of backlash, but they are the center of people who study the disease, who study a given population, who study what could we do to fix this. Just, it was just the niche of my foundation to venture out to eventually one day to start my own consulting business of venturing out and doing work for other companies. But CDC, just, I knew that I wanted to get here and do that. And I know CDC is like open a lot of opportunities for me to go global. I have been able to travel and go different places. So it was just on my thing to do. And
Wow.
it was
That's
a journey getting
amazing
here.
because you did mention, I say what the city raised me, but I'm a country girl at heart. So I'm a Mississippi girl. And you mentioned about Alabama. And I know that when you were going to school, but then see, you also, before you even got to the CDC, you did college and you also was a mom and you overcame all of that and still finishing your degree. Before you
Yes.
ever got here, there was something that was on your list and something
Yes.
that you accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to us just a little bit about, we thinking about unveiling the true you. Part of you was still learning you, but then
Yes.
now you're a mother.
Yes.
What does that look? We're talking about, right? This is you first, and it's saying you can even, like, so God bless you for going back to school, for pushing through, for being resilient, and finding the fortitude to push through, to hold on, right? Because I
Right.
know if you was the long nights and crying days and all of that in between.
Absolutely. When I was in high school and I was in my senior year, I always had this determination, and this goes into my book as well. I It's this determination that I'm going to be somebody, whether I had my father or not, and a mother who worked all the time. I always felt like a lone child, like a loner, and I had to really mentally grasp a lot of life stuff, tragically and some healthy wise. I was always, no matter what I was doing, I was always in the church. And I know, coming from the country town that I was in, the statistics is basically you graduate high school, you go try college, but you'll end up back there with babies and things of that nature. And I saw myself when I started college going in that route, but I said, no, that's not going to be me. I am not going to be statistics. I'm not going
Yeah,
to, go back to my hometown and just be having babies and living with my parents and stuff like that, with my mother at the time. So when I got pregnant the first time in college, it was very upsetting. I went into this deep depression. I didn't know what I wanted to do because I didn't want any kids. My dream was to not have any kids, right? Until I'm well established in a perfect time. At the time, I thought perfect time, but as we grow older, I know it's never a perfect time for anything. So as I got in college, I thank God for my mom. She was there for me during those times when I got pregnant with my first child. And when I had her, I told my mom, I said, I am determined to finish college. I am not going to be somewhere down here with, like I call it, some mediocre job, some welfare job or a warehouse job like this most women
yeah,
do in my
yeah, yeah,
hometown. I said that I just knew it was something in me that was so much more than it. I just couldn't figure it out.
yeah,
And so, thanks be to God, my mom said, okay, you leave her here with me and you go do what you got to do. And so I went back to college, but I'm still in that mindset of wanting love and don't
yeah.
know who I am. I ended up pregnant a second time. All of this is in my book.
Yeah, now you
And
know what? Because then you're mentioning the book, so we might as well go ahead and talk about the title. Go
yes,
ahead, because all of it is relevant. Because
yes,
that time in college, having not only one, but then being, well, it is a blessing because I say I too was a single mother. And so I
Hmm.
understand what it is. And I say, God is the giver of life. So if you're
Yes,
listening at this, it doesn't matter how it happened. It's not a happenstance. God is the giver of life. There is nothing that you can do because he gives us life. That's my own belief. So let me just let me say that. That is my
yes.
belief that he's the giver of life. I know that we can do certain things, right? It's about you first. There are
Hmm.
things that we can do that, of course, we have to deal with the consequences, right? We have to deal with
Exactly.
the responsibility of those decisions. So let me make sure we make that clear. But I
Yes.
am a believer that God is the giver of life. And so now that he has said, okay, daughter, these are the decisions you're making. And so now here is not one life, but now two lives. And then you're saying, but I still have these desires. I still have these things on my list. And because of my determination, they're going to happen.
Happen. Exactly.
Yeah, now
Exactly.
you have kids because you did the book. You did the book, I know, because I know we're waiting on volume two. I know it should be coming. I believe I seen or heard something somewhere in the wind.
Yes. Yes.
We're talking about because that was you talking about being feeling daddyless, right? Because you just
Yes.
mentioned about being, raised by mom, dad, not really present and in your
Yes.
in the home. And for a lot of us, especially for me, like I said, if we were to look carve this piece out, I know what it feels like to be a single mother, not with just one child, but actually even with two. And during that time, I know it was hard as heck. We gonna keep this clean today, y'all. We gonna keep this clean.
Listen.
But it was really hard. And
Yes.
so now you have the two children. You still want to finish school. How did all of this? And then when did you, of course, having these feelings of trying to fill a void, feeling daddyless, right?
Hmm.
Feeling
Yes.
daddyless, and it wasn't because he was deceased either.
No.
He wasn't deceased. So having this, so what did you do? Now you're still going to school, you're a college student, and then you saying, I feel the need, the urge, my determination to not only what was that journey like to even getting back reconnected to him that even led you to even writing the book?
Well, let me start off by this. Shawanna, whenever everybody asks me about that first book, I always mention your name. And
Really?
yes, because I don't think you remember.
No, I know
Shawanna,
we've had.
when I wanted to write this book, I was telling you about it, and I was doing your makeup. And I said, I
No,
haven't
hold up.
started
Wait, did
yet.
y'all hear what she said? I gotta say, she said you did my what? You did my
Makeup.
you did my makeup. Wait, did y'all see that? Y'all see that? Y'all see
Yeah.
that? That's the makeup we were talking about, okay? I just had to
Yeah.
pop that up. Okay, your girl, I started to, find that hair, but we ain't gonna do all of that. But you see that?
Yes.
This is the makeup that she's referring to. Yes. Isn't she the bomb.com? Isn't she the bomb.com?
Yes.
I just had to
Thank
pop that
you.
up. Oh, you did say makeup, right? Okay.
Yes. And so when I we were just talking, that's another I think I miss about being a makeup artist. It always became like a ministry because I always will talk to the women in my chair and we all can relate. And when we got to talking about my book, you basically said, what you waiting on? Just start it. Just start it. Stop saying you're gonna start here. You waiting on this. Just start it. And it's
Amen.
just something, the way you put it geared me mentally, like it was like a all gas. I don't know what is just what you said that
Wait,
day.
that need to be, yeah. Sound like you're
Yeah,
teaching
and that's what I
you
tell
guys.
people because I said it's this wonderful lady that I went to church with. Her name was Shawanna, and I said we sung in the choir together. And I said she always gave me good advice, and I said I would never forget the advice that she told me, and that's what put the gas on me writing my book because I was so afraid to tell my truth because I didn't know what people would think. I didn't know what my family would think. It was just a lot of fear build up.
Yeah.
And how I got to writing my book, one day I had a breakdown in my car and I just said, relationships wasn't going right. My relationship with my daughters wasn't going right at the time because they was with my mother and I was back and forth and I was just starting my career in public health here in Atlanta. And I just said, God, what is it what you want me to do? I'm tired. And I said, every time that I go through I blame my father. That's a problem.
Mm.
I blame him for the way my life is. I don't blame nobody else. I always was just think of my father. And that's
Mm.
why I named the book Daddy, I'm the Only Woman Who Thinks of You. How my daddyless thoughts turned into my determination. So every time I have a trauma or something go through, I think about my dad and I say, you know what? I got this determined. I gotta be somebody. I'm going to be somebody because I know he's going to miss out being in his daughter life if I'm somebody. And so I said, you know what? The first thing that I got to do to stop going into these terrible relationships and cycle after cycle and blame it, the first person I'm going to have to forgive is myself.
Mm.
And
Mm.
then
Mm.
that next person is going to have to be my father. And that's when I started writing the book. Because when I wrote the book, I wanted to help people, but I think it was first for myself. I was writing for myself. So it was like my journal. And I just started writing. And then as I started writing, tears were just flowing, because I didn't realize a lot of the things that happened to me in my childhood, I really suppressed it and tried to forget about it, tried to deaden it. And as I
Yeah.
was writing the book, things was just coming alive. And that's when I figured out and saw that a lot of my deep rooted issues came from me blaming my father and mad at my father for so many years for not being in my
Mm.
life like I wanted him to show up
Mhm.
to be.
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
I need you to go right there, real quick, because I know, and I mean when I say I know personally. Um, Look,
mhm,
that's actually probably another episode for another day. But when I say I know, is people are like, oh yeah, girl, I understand. No, I know.
yes.
I want you right there, right up and through there. Talk about that. I want you to talk about that real quick, and I want you to talk about and talk to someone who actually may feel that same way or have felt that same way because they are not alone. They're not alone. Hey, I'm saying I got grace on me, but I know we're years apart and I know
Right.
what that felt like, all of that. So right
Yes.
now, I want you to talk about that and even talk a little bit about that forgiveness. Talk about.
Forgiveness was very hard for me. When I tell you, if I get mad at someone, I always wanted them to pay for what they did. I wanted revenge, and not in a harmful way, but I just wanted them to know that they hurt me. And I did this in relationships. I have done this in previous jobs. Like, why did you fire me? Like, I would, every time somebody would hurt me, I would say, oh, God is going to get you, or something's going to happen, or something like that. But I knew that was not godly. I knew that wasn't right. And I knew a lot of that deep rooted unforgiveness spirit that I had came from me not forgiving my father. And when I realized it was time to forgive my father, and I wrote that book, when I wrote that book and I published it, and my family finally read, I got a lot of backlash, but they did not know all the things that happened to me in my childhood. When they realized everything, all I could hear was, oh my God, I didn't know that happened to you. And then my father, of all people, I did not know he was going to respond like he did. He responded way better than my mother did. Like, my mother responded like, oh, okay, it's nothing we can do about it right now, but move on. But my father, he responded how I would wanted him to respond when I was a child. He said, where is the guy who touched you? I'm going to go say something to him. I said, well, Dad, he's dead now. You can't say anything to him. But I needed you at that time when all of this happened. So I had to realize, as I talked with my father, a lot of people in Black families, we don't talk about things. We don't communicate, and we push a lot of things under the rug. And once I realized that a person can't give you what they don't have, you have to just accept them for who they are. And I'm on that journey right now. And I started with my father and realized my father just didn't have the tools to give me what I needed him to be as my father. He didn't have the tools because I learned how he was treated as a child. He had both of his mother and fathers, but his father was very mean and strict, and they was that real religious family, and so my dad really didn't know how to be a father or show up as a father, and he did the best he could.
Mhm.
So I had to then, that's when I knew, I said, you know what, I can't keep blaming this man for
Yeah.
everything. I couldn't keep blaming him from everything. And that's what I started forgiving him. And then I started finding out a whole lot of stuff that I didn't know about him and my mom's relationship and the reason why he didn't show up.
Isn't it? And I love what you said, and especially with regards to even being transparent and recognizing on your own self journey of he couldn't give you what he didn't have, right? And when we
Mhm.
go into unearthing certain things, when they literally say you be opening up a can of worms, you be opening up a can of worms, you be opening up attics, you be opening up cellar doors, and all kind of stuff come flying out. But because of it being important, and that is why this space is all about you. It's all about you.
Mhm.
That's right. If you're looking at me, it's about you. It's about
Yes.
you being okay to tap into whatever that thing is that's stopping
Mhm.
you from unveiling your true self. It is that
Yes.
thing that has stopped you from living. You're supposed to be thriving, not simply surviving, not just making
Exactly.
do, not just getting by, not just going along. You're supposed to live life and live life abundantly. And that doesn't always mean now, however, money is nice, but that's not
Yes.
always about financial. It's
Mhm.
mental, it's in your health, it's the
Yes.
people, places, and the things that are around you and right in front of you and that are right even up under your nose.
Mhm.
And you talking about your father and then him being okay and in a place in his life to even just tell you some of his side of the story because we already know that there are multiple sides. And it's amazing, but we know it's by design because it's by design that the family, it's by design. So
Yes.
as girls, we want that male figure, that male role, because a mother can tell you what type of man or try to teach you how to be a lady, but she cannot fill the shoes of a man, the place that that man take and
Yeah.
have in a girl's life. And that's why I really work hard. I know you did for your girls to really make sure that they know who they are so that they don't
Yes.
feel like that they're missing out on anything, so that they don't
Mhm.
go looking in the wrong places for if they felt empty. And
Yes.
it's like having that conversation with your dad. How did that help you with your girls and even some of the things? Because I know they're older now. I believe what one, I don't know if both of them are in college. How did
Yes.
that help you once you had this uncomfortable conversation, is needed, courageous conversation? How did it even help you move with your daughters even after that?
Well, that determination was geared towards my daughters and started instead of having it going towards my father saying, "Oh, I'm going to make him see that I'm going to be somebody." My forgiveness healed that part of me. Now
Mm,
then my determination became my daughters. Like I did not, because in my book I had said I don't want them to feel the lack of not having their father because that cycle continued with my daughters.
yeah,
And I wanted to stop right there. And so my two daughters, their father is not, and now one is in prison and one is just not even present. So I had a lot of, that was the next step. It was still that part of that forgiving myself for all the mistakes I made from not having my father in the way I was thinking. So I had to take that determination and tell my daughters, like, you're not going to feel the lack of not having your father, even though I can't be your father. All I can be is your mother. And I pray that, you don't feel the lack of not having a father like I did. And so that's what I had pushed for all of these years as they were growing up in school, making sure that they have everything that they need, a house, clothes on their back, food, everything. I showed up whenever they needed something or wanted to do something. I would say yes, but I had to learn to, like, you can't say yes, 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 because
yeah,
that becomes unhealthy as well. So it was a journey to be learned as a mother, and I'm still learning because now that they're older, it's another battle now, because they did feel a lot of me not being there because I was in that determination mode that I'm going to finish school, I'm going to take care of my kids, and and not let them happen to feel the lack of not having their fathers. But I knew that too, I could not make that up with their father not being there. But as long as I showed up as their mother in a healthy way, healed way, then it would be better, if that makes sense.
No, I totally get it.
Hmm.
Uh, Even though for me, being a single mother during that time, I didn't have the liberty to say, "Hey, mom, I could not go to college because now I'm a mother." Uh,
Yeah.
so that means that part of my life had to wait. I actually didn't go back to college until after my third child was born, and
Hmm.
I was up in age when I actually, went back to college. But I'm still grateful to God that He allowed
Yeah.
that, because my mother was doing, I had other siblings. I had three younger siblings, and so her thing was, doing what she needed to do, and doing her, doing her. So it wasn't about, that. And so I get that. And it's just still even a blessing that your mom was there to be able to feel that space, because even God still had that perfectly designed. He had
Yes.
still perfectly designed. I know sometimes we don't understand. And so for people who have been raised, by a guardian or by a grandparent, I'm grateful to people that have had that even as an option. That is a blessing in itself, because then you still wouldn't be the woman that you are right now today
Yes.
had you
Absolutely.
not had that liberty, that privilege, to then have a parent to say, "Girl, but these my babies, and I'm going to
Hmm.
do what I need to do because I need you to go and be great." And
Exactly.
when I think about that and thinking about you being great, because you talked about the dream and the desire to finish college, then also, now work for CDC, go all over the globe. I know you've been out of the country multiple times. I don't even know how many times this year alone. This woman right here, she need to say MUA, author, a travel diva. And no, did we even talk about the fashion? Did we talk about the fashion? This woman right here, you need to take a peek in her closet.
Oh my God, yes, because
And
it's
that's all.
overwhelming.
It's not even, you see, all glamour, all glamour. Y'all need to check her out. Make sure you go online and check her out, because MUA, she's always beat to death. And I don't mean beat. So, and you're just watching this and you like, what you mean beat? No, beat means a pretty face. She always has a pretty face because she knew how to get the makeup together.
Yeah,
Right. And
right.
let's talk a little bit about the weight, and then how did even being a makeup artist, eh? Uh, how did being a makeup artist help you when we get into that weight? Because y'all, I'm gonna let her tell y'all the number, because what's our number? Did we hit triple digit weight loss? Did we hit a triple digit weight loss when we our
Yes,
author that
yes, I did.
come on up in
Oh,
here?
that journey. Yes, that's pom pom clap. The weight loss journey. I
The weight
think
loss.
that was the 360 of my life.
I like that. That sounds like a chapter to me.
Woo! And that's going to be the start of the next book.
Yeah.
Like I said in my first book, I have not having my father, I did a lot of unhealthy things. I realized that I ate emotionally. Every time I got mad or angry, I would eat. I come from a family that loves to eat, and so obesity was a thing in my family. And I was had I was a big girl all my life, and I heard people talk about the weight loss surgery, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that, because I'd heard people die of it as well. I was like, no, I'm not going
Yeah.
to do that. And then I met friends. It's just amazing how God sends people in your life. They become your friends, but you realize they was just there for that moment to get you to where He wants you to be. Like,
That means those people are for a season. So
let me send this girl
let's
here.
insert that. God sends people for a lifetime, for a reason,
Hmm.
and for a season. For a lifetime, for a
Right.
reason, and for
Season.
a season. And
Season.
we have to be okay in this you first on your self first journey, to stop trying to make people lifetimers when they're only meant to be in your life for a season. I just
Right.
had to say that because we get caught in that loop. We get caught in that loop because some of these people are there only for a season. And I'm
Yes.
gonna tell you, let me help somebody real. I got to help somebody real quick because then maybe the season is up. Yeah, the time is about to change, right? Depending on when you're watching this. The season is up, and it's time for you to
Yes.
be okay to bless the things that they brought into your life. Now, I ain't that, and if you married, I ain't telling you to get no divorce. I ain't even talking about that. I ain't talking about that. But you know
Mhm.
the people that is in your life that their time has expired, and you can
Right.
bless that relationship. You can bless that time and move forward, like she's saying, and having those relationships and being able to recognize that honestly, when you think about you first, you putting yourself back on top of the list, making you a priority, you're able to see it more clearer.
Mhm. Absolutely.
I know that's what you're getting to on this journey as you started this journey, right? The
Right.
naysayers, the people that you believe even was riding with you, and things open up and you begin to see stuff more clearly when you go down this journey.
Right.
Continue. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but before I had the weight loss surgery, she won't even remember I had brain surgery because I had a
Whew.
yeah, it's yes. And it was a rare disease that came out of nowhere called trigeminal neuralgia.
Yeah.
It's like a nerve in your face. I had no idea where this came from. The doctor says no cure. I went through all type of surgery until I had, the last result was the brain surgery. Well, when I tell you, and I told you this too, Shawanna, when I came in over your house one time, I said, God healed me so fast, I can't even remember the surgery. Like the pain. He healed me so fast. And that's when I landed the job, the contracting job, my first contracting job with CDC, because I was at State Farm at the time. And I had just got a promotion. And when I was in training, but in training, I had to go get this brain surgery immediately. And they let me go get that, and then told me I can finish the training when I came back. When I came back, that's when the job that had already told me that they didn't want to hire me wanted to come back and hire me because the other person didn't work out. And I said, what? And so I started another new job in my career 3 weeks after brain surgery. And people still don't know how I
Did
did
y'all
it.
hear that? Wait a minute. Brain surgery.
Yes.
1 to 3 weeks later, starting a new job.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. Okay.
It's time. Listen, when I tell the story to people, I still be in shock myself because I know that God has something greater for me. Because all that I have been through and seen and have learned, I'm just like, God, what is it? And it's like He say, keep going, just keep going, do what I say.
You know what? I'm glad you said that. So we're gonna keep going, and I'm gonna let you know what's gonna happen right now. Y'all gonna actually have to catch part 2. So
Yes.
thank you, CJ, for joining me. I know y'all like, wait. I wanted to finish the story. She's gonna finish the story. You actually just gonna have to honestly catch it in the next episode. So make sure you make yourself a priority. It's about you. Listen to the things that she said. You have to think about forgiveness. Forgiveness is for you. The other people just possibly benefit when you forgive them. That don't mean that they still have access to your life, but forgiveness is for you. Don't be afraid to put your feet on the gas and get going on some stuff that you know that your life is waiting for, right? Because you know what people need to see. They're waiting for you. Make sure you stay connected to CJ. She is all things on CJ. Look, all over all the social media platforms. You'll be able to find her information on our website. But I want to thank you, CJ, for coming in today, being my special guest. They're going to have to catch it in the part 2. Because we're going to talk about weight loss. We're going to talk about fashion and her travel. But I want to thank you for joining us for this week's episode of You First.
Thank you.
Right. Bye, y'all. This episode is brought to you by Kennedy Media, your ultimate partner in content creation, video recording, and digital marketing. Be seen, be heard, and increase visibility in your business. Contact us today at KennedyMediaLLC.com, KennedyMediaLLC.com, and unlock your brand's full potential.